What up, and what up? Salute to my brothers.
Absolutely. Gutta, what up?
Gutta,
Tad, what up?
My brother Tad.
What we doing,
Make
OG
sure you
Wisdom?
check out the OG Wisdom podcast. You know what I mean? You're in it live and raw from a Val Lagoon. Good show, my niggas. I love y'all.
Most of our leaders come out of organizations. You have to be a part of an organization to be an effective leader. But how do we determine if you're an effective leader if you don't organize the people? You can't just grab the mic or your phone, get on YouTube and say, yo, I'm a good leader because I think I'm a good leader. You have to have a track record of organizing people, setting goals and agendas and getting them done.
Yeah. Politicians I don't really like. Activism is different because, you know, you got a goal. It has nothing to do with politics. When you are activist, you know, it's for your people.
Make sure y'all get ready to tune in to my brother, my big brother, Gutta and Tad, new podcast, OG Wisdom. Better tune in to that. A lot of Jews, a lot of knowledge, a lot of lifestyle, a lot of street talk, a lot of hood tales, real stories. Check it out. OG Wisdom, Tad, Gutta.
Violence. Great.
U.S. conservative activist Charlie Kirk, co-founder of Turning Point USA, was fatally shot while speaking at Utah Valley University in Orem on Wednesday. The 31-year-old was delivering remarks at 12:20 p.m. during his American Comeback Tour when a bullet struck him in the neck. President Donald Trump called the killing a dark moment for America and vowed a broader crackdown on political violence.
This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come.
Police said no suspect is in custody, though one individual questioned earlier was released. Investigators believe the shot was fired from a rooftop in a targeted attack. Kirk's group, Turning Point USA, the country's largest conservative youth organization, played a pivotal role in rallying young voters behind Trump in last year's election.
Peace, family. Welcome back to another episode of the OG Wisdom Podcast with me, your brother Tad, our brother Gutta, and our sister in our house, special correspondent, our sister K Fighter. K Fighter, how you feeling, sis? I can't hear you.
Good.
There you go.
Just got in from a bike ride, so I hope I don't look greasy.
Nah, you look great as usual.
Thank
and let's
you.
bring our brother Gutta up in the house. Gutta, peace. What's the word, bro?
What's cracking, bro?
Ain't nothing, man. I felt
Happy
it was
belated birthday, brother.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate
Happy belated King Day. We do a little house cleaning real quick. Give a shout out to our sister Queen Anusa. Peace to you, sis. Our brother Rich Nice. Always on the check-in. Sister Tish. Farnessa in the house. Always holding us down. Love, peace, and reparations, sis.
Brooke, even Maryland.
Yes, our sister Brooke at Even Melanin. Follow her on YouTube, all social media platforms.
Yo, you know what's crazy?
Tiger. What's that?
I saw a clip of her. It was a dude on YouTube. It was an African dude on YouTube was talking about, you know how they do the reactions and they'll set up shit. African dude put up the shit about Black Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they showed a clip with her talking to the people.
Yeah, our sister be at them reparation hearings, giving them people fire.
That's how I say, like, the young people. It's like we do, like, we can't really listen to the old heads unless you got an old head that's telling you
right
what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like in the diaspora on the continent, it's the young people that's trying to connect. And they you know what I'm saying? They like, yo, we understand that y'all are your own ethnic group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We understand that. We trying to, you know what I'm saying,
Bridge the gap. Unite.
Yeah, we're trying to bridge exactly. Trying to bridge the gap, and it's mostly the that's why I say it's mostly the young generation.
Look,
outside of the older cats that been doing the same shit for all these years. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And for more on that, tune in to Thorough Black Talk every Thursday. Gutta, we doing a 3-part series on an event we pulled up on, you know what I'm saying, about FBA and the diaspora. And had we not been there, man, they'd have misrepresented. They was trying to kick dirt on us, saying Black Americans is part of a CIA operation. It got crazy. But that's for Thursday night, man. We here to talk about this white on white violence that's going on. And like, subscribe, share. Everybody, you come in, like, even if you don't stay long, get the numbers up, get the algorithm up. But I think it's important that we bring this conversation to the forefront, because in too many spaces, our voices are not being represented. Charlie Kirk met his unfortunate demise, but in the midst of his demise, he was making an attempt to shift the focus on Black people, dog whistle gang violence, but we know what that means. You know, that's Black and Latino,
basically black and brown people.
Yeah. And in the midst of that, he got taken down by one of his own. But for some reason, when that happens, it doesn't get reported as white on white violence. And today, us three, we're gonna uncover that. That's why
they always say it's a lone wolf, or they always, like, when it come to us, it's cultural. You know what I'm saying? In the media, when it comes to us, they're gonna say it's cultural. Oh no, he was talking good. He was showing the positive stuff that you was talking about in the joint.
Okay, she said, was he popping shit?
Yeah, nah, he did. But yeah, they always gonna represent us in a way where it seemed like if one Black dude do something, just like, perfect example, the dude that murked the Ukrainian bro. Right. Now it's all of us. It's just
right. It's not just that lone person. It's the whole community.
When it's K, bro, you know they're gonna automatically say, you know, that he was mentally ill and blah blah blah. Even though the Black dude has a history of mental illness. Right. They just threw him out on the streets, which you know, me and you already know just from our environment. Just
from where we live, we see him all the time.
We see him all the time, especially since certain politicians deem that it's not necessary to have those type of facilities or even care about mental health at all. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have those individuals that's in our communities at all times. You know what I'm saying? Whether you know what I'm saying, especially us, because even the crazy non-Blacks end up in our community. Yes, because it's more you know what I'm saying? They're more accepted. People is not going to do. People is not the police. First of all, police ain't gonna run them out. No, like they would do in their communities. You know what I mean? And the people is, you know how we are. You know what I mean?
We embracing.
Yeah. We might not necessarily embrace them, but we're not gonna bother.
Right. Long as you go about your business.
Yeah, long as you go about your business. You can have mental health issues and all that. Long as you stay in your lane.
Keep that crazy shit over there.
Exactly. you know us. You play crazy, nigga. We're gonna give you something to please. You know what I'm saying? You know how our community is.
Gutta, let me ask you something, because I always see this topic, and I do want to get back to Charlie Kirk. But from your years of being incarcerated, when you in there, how crazy do dudes act when they locked up? Do you see them act crazy as they do in the streets, or are they a little more docile and to themselves when they inside?
You got to think about it. So see, with the mental health dudes, they drugged up in jail, bro.
Okay. So that pretty much calms them down.
Yeah, they drugged up. Like, I know a few dudes that I was locked up and they end up having mental health issues from really, you know, smoking wet. You know what I'm saying? And then the compound effects of that, you know what I'm saying? And,
okay.
Bro, he was spaced out.
Yeah, you put the layers on it.
They put the meds on him and he was spaced out.
Okay, because some dudes I know who play crazy, When they get in them bullpens, they kind of calm down until they get
you know the difference between dudes. You know, dudes are play crazy,
right.
and then you have dudes that got real mental issues. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like for real, people don't know. You know, they got this bad, like dudes like that get if they around the right individuals, they get protected. Dudes ain't gonna let, you know what I mean? Because you know
knowing he got mental health issues.
Yeah, you know he's special. You know he got, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
they can't get right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So dudes is not gonna, you know, most dudes,
right?
You know what I mean? Most dudes is not going, you know, stand up for anybody trying to take advantage of them,
right?
You know what I mean? So that's a big miss, you know.
Yeah,
because you know how people portray jazz like, yo, anything goes, dudes do anything that, you know.
Right, and it ain't really. Yo, I tell people, man, you meet some good brothers in there. You also meet some clowns.
Yeah, you meet some clowns. You meet some like
real solid men.
The sad thing is, some of the most intelligent people in our society ends up being incarcerated.
Yeah. I want to get our sister in here.
It's like, remember the Nip joint? You know what I'm saying? He said, I got the genius, but just don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like that. People have that genius inside of it and don't know how to, you know, bring it out. And we in these environments, so dude gonna use intelligence for doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
As opposed to the right thing.
Right. I want to get Sister Kay in here. Sis, you watched the Charlie Kirk thing. You've been following it. How often is it reported or passed off as mental health issues for European snipers and, you know, deleters? I don't know what language we could use on these platforms anymore. You know, our freedom of speech is getting crushed silently. But how often do we see this, and why is it that we see that?
It's always, that's the cover, you know, from its inception, right? No matter what they do, everything they do is based in violence. Everything from business to acquisition of land to conquering people, whatever. It's always based in violence. And so, you know, they are masters of covering and projecting. So, you know, when they say that it's who we are, it's a part of our culture, they're just projecting.
Yeah. So you've done lectures plenty of times on the 100 years of lynching. We see that these things are unreported. Now, we got 3 stories we're going to cover. I think Charlie Kirk was early in September. We just getting into October. There's been so many deletions by European folks.
Same day you had a school shooting.
Yes, by another one. By another European.
Then you had
the church, the
church,
Latter-day Saints church.
Yeah, the Mormon
Then you
church.
had the fishing market.
Yeah.
Then you had a couple of other deleters, not to mention the lynching of our young brother in Mississippi.
Yeah, two young dudes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? One was on Delta State.
And a sister in Florida.
Yeah. So why aren't they reporting this as an epidemic when we know the FBI report most serial killers to be white men in their 30s and things like that? Like they have an actual a profile for serial killers or mass shooters. Why aren't they recognized as a public health crisis?
Because it's just a cover. It's a cover. Like I said before, you know, it is who they are. It is inbred in them. It's a part of their DNA. Being part Nathaniel, as they like to say.
Yeah.
You know, so it is in their bloodline. It's who they are. And so oftentimes, you know, they like to project onto other folks because, you know, even their so-called founding fathers, they said when they came amongst the natives or Africans or whomever, you know, that they were always peaceful, you know, almost childlike. Right. And they came in ravishing or manipulative. You know, when you read books like The Confessions of an Economic Hitman, he talks about how they go amongst societies and purposefully corrupt them in a violent manner. And so it's just who they are. We, on the other hand, seem to think otherwise. And that's what pains me when I see people, especially from the diaspora, who are giving cover to persons like Charlie Kirk, you know, and later on, you know, that will come back to bite us. And, you know, we got to be mindful of that. That's why you see an uptick, if you will, on the assault of Black people, whether it's in the South or the North. You know, no matter where they are, it's who they are.
Right. Gutta, what's your thoughts?
The only difference, like the attack on Black people, is getting met with force. So they kind of like, all right, we gonna try. Once we see it ain't working, we cool. We gonna stick to who's the whitest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who's that? You know what I'm saying? If you don't think the right white way, then I eliminate you. Cause they really cowards, my nigga.
Yeah.
It's cowardice and
cowards.
And dealing with us, envy.
Flaming cowards too.
You know what I'm saying? They flaming cowards and they envious of us. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the world, bro. Because most of the world understands that it's an envy that they can't revert back to their original form. They just don't have that. Yo, I'll give you a perfect example. Aries Spears was on Vlad TV and they was talking about the boxing. And he was just like, black people and whatever we do, we just got that. He says we got that whip wop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a certain way that
we do things. We got that swag.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So whenever they encounter us, it's jealousy. It's envy. It's a deep-seated envy that they can't explain. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the epigenetics with us, with post-traumatic slave syndrome. They got the post-traumatic master syndrome as well. You know what I'm saying? That's why they feel that they always got to monitor us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lady will come and ask me, what are y'all doing? Why the fuck do you care what we're doing?
Right, Karen, mind your business.
Yeah, mind your business. We mind our business. Unless y'all come in to mind our business.
Yeah. And I don't think they realize that's something, to your point, Gutta, the slave master mentality that they adopted, that we are beneath them and everything we do, we need their approval.
Yeah.
Or they need to be in the know. In fact, even on Tariq Nasheed's show, I listened to a clip the other day and some white woman came in there just attacking Black folks, asking them why are they celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And it's like, yo, who's celebrating? We not even talking about him. And she really tried to blame Black folks, particularly Black Americans. And we found that so weird because she was saying that she doesn't see color. And of course, as you cited, Dr. Joy DeGruy, post-traumatic slave syndrome, she talked about not seeing color as an acknowledgement of your racism and white supremacy. Because you don't see me for the person I am. You don't know nothing about me. So how do you not see my color?
Because I'm not colorblind.
So you're intentionally ignoring my color to try to prove that you're not racist. And that thought alone is fundamentally racist.
Then, like when you look at them culturally, like they are the most parasitic culture, you know what I mean, in the world. Because what they do is, like, people think they want to kill us. Right. They want to call us like you do sheep and goats, cows and like that, and cows. You call, you know what I'm saying? So you get rid of the most obstinate. That's what they want to get rid of, the most obstinate, and keep us so they can suck us for all our creativity.
Yeah.
They want more people that want to tap in to their society. You know what I'm saying? But they want their culture.
Right. So
they have
and I got you, Gutta. But
like if you look like if you look in the history, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like, if you say white people, they have no culture.
Yeah. Let me ask you
because
this
none of
question.
those European countries, the original people were white. So
Right.
all of the culture was, now I'm not going to say it was created by all black people. It was a mixture. You got to remember, at those times they didn't have a concept of race.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we just all together. You know what I mean? We from this nation land. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We in this sovereign area. You know what I'm saying? So, but you got to understand that the original people of all those lands was black people. So
Right.
anybody that came in was newcomers, and they formed something together.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dr. David Imhotep talked about that in the first Americans were African.
And I'm talking about anywhere you go on the planet.
Right.
Whatever culture that sprung from that, it was some black influence on that.
Right. But let me ask you this, Gutta, to keep in step with our topic today. Why is it that they are now deleting each other then? Because I agree with you. But I can't figure out the psyche. Maybe you and Sister K can help out.
I can, like I told you, it's the who's the better white.
Right. So they're having this competition
because they need everybody to be on one accord.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever ain't like, that's how like these delusional white supremacists, it's white delusion, it's not supremacy. But
right,
because how can you be superior of anybody when nature has you scared?
Right.
Like your biggest fear is the sun. Your biggest, you know what I'm saying? So you can't be superior if the sun got you shook.
Right.
So it's a delusion, but in a delusion, everybody gotta be in lockstep. So those who ain't in lockstep, you gotta go, especially if you got any influence, because you not influencing the people like we want you to influence.
Yeah. Let me ask Sister Keish. Sis, the creation of whiteness, because I agree with Gutta saying, is it that the other white folks aren't evolving with white supremacy at a rapid rate, or is there something deeper? I know you into the politics and you understand the political landscape. What is it that got them at odds? I mean, from right now, so we can go to the Civil War, so we can go to the wars they had in Europe before the Pope was like, nah, go to Africa, go to these other lands. Y'all can't keep killing each other. We know white supremacy and the idea is constantly evolving. I want you to speak to where it's at today.
Where it's always been. They've always been at war with each other. Always. There has never been a period in history where they haven't fought each other. And so right now, when you talk about the United States, there is a changing of the guard, because you have oligarchs who are at war with each other right now. They have allowed certain family members to intermarry with common folk. And so common folk have an ear to an oligarch. And right now they are at odds with each other. So you see right now the Christian sect now speaking out more against Israel and what they're doing, right? To change the dichotomy of the image of the United States, because they see it that, you know, the power that be is on a decline. And so they want to maintain that. So in order to do that, you have to fight each other. And, you know, one thing I can say about, you know, white folks, they've always been profound fighters with each other. When you look at the Roman Empire and others, they've always been some serious fighters. So this is just who they are. The other night I was in a X conversation with a group of people, and they were talking about politics in the United States, but talking about the push of an LGBTQ, you know, agenda here in the States, and they were trying to push it on Black people, if you will. And so I got up and I said, well, wait a minute, hold on now. Let's deal with the founding, and the majority of your presidents are homosexual, have been homosexual. So I started to talk about John F. Kennedy. right? And one white guy, he said, no, he was a man. He had all these women. That's just a beard and a cover. I said, I want you to look up his relationship with a man named Lynn Billings, and you will see that relationship was a homosexual relationship, and it got so aggressive that Lim began writing JFK letters, and Jackie Kennedy found some of those letters, and he had asked him, JFK that is, to stop writing him, that he wasn't into it in that way. But he had always been throughout college, high school, and college, right? When you look at, and I said, the original governor.
Navy.
Oh, yeah.
He's the Navy.
He was biting pillows and smashing booties.
The 17s in the Navy.
Biting pillows and smashing booties.
Wow.
Said, the first governors of New York and New Jersey, because we used to share governors at one point. Okay. So when you look at people like Edmonds, who was a flaming homosexual, people like the first governor of New York, New Jersey, Lord Cornbury, flaming transsexual. So again, I had to push back to let them know that no, if you're the power structure in this country, what you're seeing is a symptom of what you have already created. So I had to shut their room down last night.
Sis, you brought up a good point, and shout out to FBA Strong Pushback. They just posted, I watched the broadcast today, the authority went back to the 1500s when they called each other white trash. They lack creativity as a result of lacking spirituality, souls. They always been violent. You brought up the Christians speaking out against Israel. I want to bring up another video, and I want y'all commentary after I show this joint. Let me see. Yes, right here. Let's go. Let's get it up.
And tonight with that new video released in the deadly church attack in Grand Blanc Township. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Mike Duff.
And I'm Glenda Lewis. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are seeing those terrifying moments for the first time.
The footage shows the first responders at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints confronting and killing Thomas Sanford, ending his deadly assault. 4 people were killed and another 10 people were wounded.
7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wimbley has the latest on Sunday's tragedy, including that video and new information about the response.
Shoot him! A Grand Blanc Township police and a Michigan conservation officer shout commands at Thomas Sanford. This body-worn camera footage revealing the moments before the 2 officers fire roughly 8 rounds at the man who launched a deadly attack on an LDS church, killing him.
What you're about to see here is 2 officers running to the sounds of gunfire to save lives. This is what law enforcement is trained to do, and this is how law enforcement should respond to these incidents.
In addition to the 2 officers confronting Sanford, we're now learning a parishioner also ran toward the danger, firearm in hand. Also new Friday, the Grand Blanc Township Police Chief revealing an updated timeline of the attack, all of it happening much quicker than initially reported.
From the time that the call for service went out to our officers, this incident ended much shorter than 8 minutes, 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
The attack killed 4 worshipers and injured another 8, including Greg Mycat, who was shot 3 times and, according to family, is currently in a coma.
Most people ran away from the danger. Greg ran toward it in an effort to help protect those that were there.
Sanford also set fire to the building, which is now reduced to rubble.
We will never forget this incident, but I promise that we will not let this define Grand Blanc.
The community now responding with enormous support, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars for the victims as well as the suspect's family. Even so, Township Supervisor Scott Bennett says scammers are looking to capitalize on the tragedy.
Unfortunately, we have become aware of fraudulent activity or scams. They're working, and we're working to stop them. But rest assured, our victims' compensation fund is a secure method for people to give.
And one of those methods is through the Victim Compassion Fund managed by the Elga Credit Union. 100% of the proceeds are going towards the victims. In Grand Blanc Township, I'm Randy Wimbley, 7 News Detroit.
I think this speaks to what you were talking about, Sister K, about, the Christians, because I think they were rallying around Charlie Kirk as this model Christian, though he preached hate and everything else. What do you say do you know much about this story of the guy going to shoot up the church and he burnt it down to the ground? And he said, what, took 3 minutes? All of that mayhem in 3 minutes? Boy, I tell you, the masters of destruction, and they constantly talk about Chicago. What do you want to say to that?
Where are the gun buyback programs for that? Why they don't have that in their neighborhoods? Where is the call for white fathers? Where is white father at? Where is the white father of the church? But the church itself is violent, right? The Catholic Church in itself breeds violence. They have their own police force. They have committed violence crazy throughout the world. So it's right in line with who they are. Just that the general populace believes otherwise, and that's the master of illusion, to get you to believe something other than what you're seeing right before your eyes. And unfortunately, a lot of our folks get caught up in that. So when I see Black folks talking about, it's a one-off, like Gutta said, it's a one-off. It's a lone gunman, and it's not. No, it's not. When you look at the Church of Latter-day Saints, let's talk about that, because that's where the shooting happened at. The church itself is violent. It brings violence on its own parishioners, right? If you deter from that, they will unalive you heavy.
Wow! If you leave the church.
If you leave the church and you talk bad about the church, they will unalive you. In fact, there used to be a show, I think, on A&E, which talked about, or which featured people who were former believers.
Oh yeah,
Latter-day Saints.
I've seen that before.
Some of them were polygamous or whatever, and they left. They were under constant threat of violence. The Church of Scientology constantly threatens its members. So especially when you leave and you speak ill of it. One noted actress, Leah Remini, talked about her time with the Church of Scientology and what they did to her. So it's who they are. The church is violent. It is violent.
The church is a scam set up anyway. Because I just give it to you like this, and I'm like, anybody know me? I'm not no Christian, but I've read all these books. And first of all, one of the things that in the book that Christ says is like the kingdom of God is within. So he basically telling you everything else is a scam. He's telling you this in the book. If you really read the scriptures, it's telling you all this other stuff. Where you go in the Pharisees, you're going to see this person, you're going to see this person. If you meditate, fast, you got to remember. Look what he was doing. He was meditating and fasting, my nigga.
Right.
What religion is that part of? Not one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though as a spiritual practice, that's what all of our ancestors did. Whether you're talking about indigenous Americans, whether you're talking about Africans, whether you're talking about blacks that went to Asia via India and China, you know what I mean? That's what they did. And what other people did is what they took was those spiritual practices and then they imparted their belief system on.
Right. So now that we see the country is becoming more diverse, do you think they're turning up on one another because they see that they're losing grip, or is it to spread their idea more?
No, it's the people that's like, yo, y'all got to get in line. Y'all don't see what's going on. All right. It would be the race warriors. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, we have race warriors, but in the protection of our people, there is for the purpose of domination.
Yes.
They race warriors are the purpose to dominate everybody else. So now, in order for them to be able to get, because they always been split. So in order for y'all to all get on track, look, it's usually the motherfuckers that's anti anything else is the ones that's causing harm to the other motherfucker.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they see they losing control in numbers. So they can only attack themselves in order to rectify that.
Right.
They can't attack us because one, it ain't gonna go well.
You know that.
It's not gonna go well whether you come with arms or fists. It's not. We all see how that's been going for the past couple months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dudes been getting hands put on them. Motherfuckers been coming up missing, and some more shit. So they knowing, you know what I'm saying, they have to catch us isolated and in small numbers. Yeah. You got to remember, YNs don't, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying? That
I know what you mean, though.
I'm not calling them YNs, you know what I'm saying? But the young homies that's out there, they running packs. It's like when we was 15, 16.
Right.
They running packs.
Except we had no switches.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm gonna be honest, they have, because they don't be having the weaponry they be talking about. Mm-hmm. It'll be 30 of them is 2 guns.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. Where it was kind of different back in the day. If you see 15 dudes, you're going to see about 13.
Everybody gripped up. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Of a story in Far Rock when we went to Far Rock.
Yeah, so you know, it's a different thing. But you know, like you got to remember they 15, 16. So they couldn't rate. Yeah, they're not going to reach that level or access. Now, most they getting access from big homies or something like that.
You know, one of the things we used to do back in the days, me, Sister K Fighter, and all of us, we used to do trips to the range. To do trips to the range and take the young people with us. Like, you're gonna learn how to handle and you're gonna learn how to aim, cock, and shoot. You know, and I think that's what's missing right now.
Yeah, teaching how to teach them dudes how to field strip guns and all that.
So why do you think, right? Given what has happened to Charlie Kirk, and we see these folks are turning their guns on each other, why do you think folks are not paying much attention to Nick Fuentes, who's way more inflammatory than Charlie Kirk was? And what's his movement called again? Somebody put it in the chat a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, the Groypers.
Yeah, the Groypers.
The Groypers. Well,
he's a bastard.
No, but this is what I'm saying is that's the reason. Like, he's not 100% white.
Okay. And that's what. But I mean, he still got that inflammatory language to those who believe in.
It's kind of like Candace Owens,
right?
He can say the worst shit and nobody, like, they cool with that,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
I think because we know white folks ain't gonna follow a black woman.
Once he presents his wife,
right? And we know
he got Fuente's name,
which still makes him European. Because with the creation of whiteness,
but I'm saying is, but he's not 100% European.
So what do you think he's mixed with? Because I'm taking Fuentes as Spaniard.
He's Mexican. Yeah, he's Mexican, and he's a
that's what I'm saying. He's a white representative, just like Canelo. If Canelo wasn't speaking Spanish and he said hi, what you want to think?
Right.
The white dude, right?
Right.
If Canelo didn't speak Spanish and he had a non-Spanish accent, he didn't have a Hispanic accent. If he just had a regular accent and he spoke to you, you're gonna think he was a white dude. I mean, he is a white dude, but he's just a white Mexican.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I think I agree with you 100%.
It's the same thing, but you know, they do have some mixture in it.
Right.
They
Because
got
here
something-
it is a hierarchy of race as to which WASP is at the top. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants are at
Yeah,
the
nah.
top
And he a
of the-
Catholic.
in the caste, right? In the caste system of whiteness.
Yeah,
to your point.
But see,
Yeah.
in the Spanish caste system, he's cool. He on the second level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's on the second level. He ain't 100% white, but he right there, so he cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the dudes that's close enough to them. That's just like Cash Patel. You know what I'm saying? It's that proximity. So they do the most inflammatory shit because they know the other dude, Myron. You know what I'm saying? They do the inflammatory because they know a straight white dude is not gonna get away with it.
Right. They gotta earn their spot.
You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna get away with saying the shit that they say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now this was like Nick Fuentes was shadow banned and all that until his supporters got him basically mainstream.
Right.
He mainstream.
That dude is crazy. Our sister just put something in here for us.
That tell you what America is. Like, that nigga's mainstream.
Yeah. Our sister just put something in here for us to check out. We're
For
gonna take a look at it.
Nick Fuentes. There you go.
Is a Mexican, and people are mad at me for pointing this out. They're saying things like, keep making excuses for black people. They're not against immigration. He's just against illegal immigration. Go look up some of his videos, but he says things like he's totally against living near black people because he's scared they might do something to him. And this is a problem because his father, Guillermo Fuentes from Chicago, is the grandson of Mexican immigrants who did not speak a lick of English. They spoke Spanish, and Mexicans in Chicago at that time were discriminated against. Its working class, predominantly Central and Eastern European residents reluctantly allowed the Latino enclave to exist as long as it remained tightly contained within a few city blocks. We were isolated there. We dared not to move out of that district. In 1944, his father was unalived just outside the neighborhood by the white man who resented the presence of Mexicans there. So the fact that they're saying stuff like this, given their background, which I broke down full in my video, yes, this is self-hate. So Nick Fuentes is a Mexican, and people are mad at me for pointing this out. They're saying things like, keep making excuses for black people. They're not against immigration. He's just against illegal.
Wow.
See what I said?
Yeah.
That explains everything I said.
Yeah.
They're gonna laugh because they know he's not a purebred white dude. So they let him get super reckless. Like they let anybody that because they know you can look up their background and then they can disassociate themselves with it.
Right.
And say exactly what dude's saying. Oh, that's self-hate. If he does that, you know, we're not with that, and blah blah blah. They can shit on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they put him in the mainstream. Because then when shit get hot, they can do exactly that. But he's a Mexican. He's just for this. He's just for that. He's just for that.
And I think that's the trick.
And that's a misnomer too. That's a belief.
That's the same. That's the same shit they use with Candace Owens. Like all the wild shit she says about us. You know what I'm saying? They'll they try to sanitize it. Like when she's saying some super anti-black shit, they try to sanitize. Well, she's not talking about all black. She's a black person. And da da da. That's why they get in them positions.
Yeah. What you gonna say, sis?
That even if they do die off, the ideology will remain.
Bingo.
You know? And then we have a belief system that if someone is of Spanish speaking or whatever, that they,
all right, and I like
right. But they're not. They were white Mexicans, they're Jewish Mexicans, It's not just, brown people. It's white Mexicans too.
We got to understand and how the black Mexicans are getting discriminated against. That's why I speak about, like, motherfuckers don't understand. It's like it's the blacks in every country, and you motherfuckers want to argue with us,
right?
That's the shit that irked me. It's like,
you know, that's what Garvey was talking about.
Yeah, like
everywhere where black people at, we was the one fighting.
Y'all get shitted on. We support y'all. Y'all come here, you know what I'm saying, and say fuck us.
Right. Bobby Bo Billy, shout out to you. Said the real white people ain't here yet. Ooh, I can imagine. I can imagine once they get here, it's going to be up. You know, it's funny because as we talk about the Black and Brown Coalition, I know for a fact that on a lot of applications, they ask you, are you Latino? And when you check yes, you got to say whether you're a black Hispanic or a white Hispanic.
Yeah, that's a fact. Afro-Latino or just regular Latino.
Right. And a lot of them say they never even seen that question before. Some might check black based on where they were raised, regardless of how light they are. Others, regardless of how dark they are, will check white. And I always found that interesting on how America changes the construct of what race is. Yeah, that's why we talk about it.
It depends on where they come from too, because when you look at only two Spanish-speaking nations did not receive independence through Spain or white folks. That is Dominican Republic and Panama. They got their independence through Haiti. Haiti gave them their independence. But look how both nations treat Haitians today.
Haiti helped Bolivia too.
Wow.
Yeah, Simon Bolivar. Yeah, they said, and he crossed them because he was supposed to ban slavery. You know what I'm saying? And be part of the fight against slavery. You know what I mean? Once they helped him, he got the independence and then shitted on him. And then, you know what I'm saying? He died before they freed the slaves.
Wow. Well, speaking of applications, I got one more video for us about workplace violence that you know, again, our fellow patriots engage in. Let's take a look at this video and come back with the commentary.
More information on the mass shooting in North Carolina. You see CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry, who's been spending time there. Good morning, Skylar. Help us understand what happened in this shooting and why officials there are seemingly certain that it also was targeted and purposeful.
Nigga named Skylar?
Yeah, that's what law enforcement said yesterday during a press conference, Errol. Breaking down a timeline as to what happened. Police say that they first got 911 calls shortly after 9 o'clock on Saturday night. It was then that folks who were here at American Fish Company say that shots started to ring out here, so much so that people started to hit the deck. They say that several people were hit both outside and inside of this popular pub and concert venue where usually people would come out, enjoy some music, enjoy food and drinks as well. Then they say that everything happened so quickly, but they were able to get their eyes on a boat that actually left right across the way here from the dock here, and they say that it was the suspect, Nigel Edge, who was able to get away a little after 10 p.m. on Saturday night. Of note, police say that they were able to arrest Edge, the suspected shooter, in less than an hour as he tried to make his way back to where his residence is, a little bit further down in Oak Island. They say that this was a premeditated and targeted attack. He is due in front of a judge today. He's facing several charges, including 3 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Something else to note here, Errol, is that the death penalty is something that is possible here in North Carolina. Prosecutors say that that is not off the table. We will see where that goes as they move forward. We spoke with a business owner, Todd Weaver, yesterday, who was here among the crowd. He says that he saw friends and also folks that he regularly sees when he comes to this venue go down with wounds, trying to help and trying to deal with what ultimately could be described as a chaotic situation. And he said that, you know, he was heartbroken to see what happens to this regular spot that he comes to on a weekly, if not bi-weekly basis. But he says that he will continue to come back. Yesterday, we were out here, a growing memorial, if you can see it right beside me. Teary-eyed members of this community were here to pay their respects, but they simply say that something like this has never happened here, and they hope that it never happens again.
Yeah, again. all of this that we're reporting, these 3 news clippings, and there's, believe it or not, Gutta, there's more. I mean, we're not going to show them here today, but all of this happened within the past few weeks. All of this was like from the beginning of September to now, which is what, we're the 5th day into October. October's just starting, but these are old. I won't call them old, but I think these things are underreported and not nationalized as to who's the real threat. Because as sure as ISIS running rampant and they're chasing around Mexicans and Venezuelans, I think they're forgetting who's the real threat to our society. And that needs to be dealt with. But I see, Sister Keisha, I see that in the Supreme Court, they're trying to remove the issuance of permits as a Second Amendment right. Have you been following that? What's going on with the Supreme Court?
Absolutely.
What, gun permits?
Yes.
Absolutely. And you know, the Second Amendment was put in place just in case the First Amendment didn't work out. And so, as you see, they are trying to curtail free speech in every form of society. And so they know that the pushback is through the gun.
Right.
Like, pew pew. I don't want to get the chain like pew pew. But yeah, I have been seeing that. And in particularly in a lot of southern states, believe it or not, they are somewhat on board with it, which is crazy to me, because you know the South has always been pro-gun, pro pew. You know what I mean? Right. They've always been that way, and that's why you see such a pushback with immigrants who are elected to office, because they are the ones that are pushing this thing forward. When you look at the politicians and who they are, the senators, who they are immigrants.
That are pro 2A or anti 2A?
Anti to it.
Okay.
At the same time, ramping up their cultural ideologies, right? When you look at places like Michigan, you have a huge Islamic community there, and they are talking down against Christians and, you know, citizens, U.S. citizens, trying to push them out, shutting them down, keeping them quiet. That's real problematic. Finessa said Minnesota too. You have 50% of the Somali immigrant population there who are in some form of criminality, fraud, welfare fraud, marriage fraud, all kind of fraud. Yet they are pushing for to remove your ability to protect yourselves, right? And I find that very, very interesting. Even here in New York, when you have people like Zoran Mandami and all of these immigrants who are in the city council here, that's problematic and disturbing. And so one of the things that I do like, what I'm hearing from the right, that is to eliminate their ability to run for office. And it should be that way. You do not see other persons in who come from other countries. For example, if you have black, white, or whatever move to other nations, you're not going to find them involved in parliament or in their politics the way that they do here. And that is a serious problem. It also pisses me off with black Muslims who keep their mouths closed when it comes to Islam and what Islam is doing, even continuing slavery to today. I find that problematic with all black Muslims. The more you keep your mouth shut, the more I have disdain for you.
Sis, I want you to talk about, because 2A, you know, black folks been socialized to be anti 2A. For those who don't know, 2A is Second Amendment. If you're unfamiliar with that term, us three here are pro Second Amendment. I think I'm correct. All three of us are pro Second Amendment. Yeah. But I want you to talk about the history in America of black people, the 2A connection, and what so many of our ancestors like Ida B. Wells, Harriet Tubman, and the likes had to say about the 2A movement.
We was outlawed to have it was against the law for us to, you know, have any type of what they would call a weapon.
Right, not even a walking cane.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
You can't live in the woods and come through with a machete.
Right. But Sister K, I want you to talk about
your hands.
I want Sister K to talk about Ida B. Wells and Harriet Tubman, the sisters as well as the brothers who were pro 2A that a lot of Black people may not be familiar with.
Absolutely. When you talk about Ida B. Wells, and Richard Lyons here in New York, a lot of them believed in carrying a firearm at all times. In fact, some of the work that they did required them to carry firearms. When you look at the sister who was the what do you call it, postal general out in Chicago, you know, carried her thing with her at all times. Frederick Douglass also talked about that. W.E.B. Du Bois talked about carrying a firearm.
Let me pause right quick.
I'm laughing with you, bro.
Yeah, so we're blaming whites here. That's what's going on here. Look, you figure it out. Who been doing all the busing? White people. Y'all been clapping each other, running in churches and, you know, shooting up off a boat. You know that. Come on.
Welcome your liquor. Welcome to the OG Wisdom Podcast, and you're free to rewind and start from the beginning. But Sister Keisha, you can.
No, we've been talking about this. I'm gonna tell them. We've been talking about this rash of white on white crime that the media refuses to speak on. So we speaking on it. Being that they always like to talk about black on black crime, you know what I'm saying? It's been a spate of white on white crime that's been an epidemic in this country for the past couple of years, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we've only reported on the past few weeks.
This couple of weeks, y'all just been outrageous with it. You know what I mean? The amount of Karen, like y'all got a name created for y'all. Karen and Ken. Like that was a name created specifically for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sure, you are. And Moines. Oh yeah, and you're illiterate.
You might be a suspect.
Yeah, that might. Yeah.
You might be wanted by the folks.
Yeah.
But since back to the Black History lessons, stick around.
Go back to Ida B. I just wanted to enlighten him right quick.
Yeah. How about the name for y'all?
It is. They've always believed in the Second Amendment. Dr. King, to many people's surprise, definitely supported having a firearm. Those around him, like Hosea Williams, was a serious man when it came to carrying his firearm. Robert F. Williams, the Deacons for Self-Defense, Reverend Vernon Johns, all of them believed in protecting themselves. You gotta be a fool to live in the world where you are constantly on the defense and think that you shouldn't. You gotta be crazy. And so when I hear black politicians talking about, you know, we need to curb that, you know, getting in the way, such draconian laws like here in the North, that's problematic. That's why I could never, ever vote for a Democrat.
They like, because
they're the ones. When you look at Andrew Jackson, right? A Democrat president, Andrew Jackson was so bad. I mean, he used to go out in the street and just shoot people for the hell of it. He just get drunk and cause a fight and then challenge someone to a duel just for the hell of it. At one time, I think he got shot in the arm or the leg rather, and he still kept doing what he wanted to do. It's just, you know,
he got shot in the chest.
You gotta be crazy not to agree with such a thing. and to put your protection.
But he a hillbilly too, so you got to remember.
Oh yeah, a lot of them was hillbillies and drunks.
Yeah, Appalachia. So you already you know what to expect.
Yeah, they was hillbillies and drunks for real.
All they want to do is drink.
But you know, it's when you look at the movie Hoodlum, right? There is a scene where I think Queenie's right hand was unalive in the middle of the street, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Right. And that scene, the camera pans upward, right? And to the right, you see signs talking about anti-lynching. And next to that anti-lynching says NRA, right? It was originally the Negroes Rifle Association. But again, we don't study our history. That's not, that's just one of many things that have been stolen from us because we always believe in self-defense. In fact, when our I would call them esteemed economists who built communities, they believed in protecting themselves. Here I talk about New York because I live in New York, but when you look at early New York in the 1600s, I mean, they were serious about protecting themselves. Those who were removed or finished their indentured servitude, I should say, under the Dutch, they armed themselves to the teeth because a lot of the British wanted to take possession. This dude funny. But
entertainment. Mad illiterate too.
Very illiterate. We love it.
For calling somebody idiots is like
right. You can't even spell. But here in New York, like early New York, those first black settlers in areas like Washington Square, land of the blacks, now Washington Square Park, they seriously believed in self-defense because they were right on the middle line of the British coming in to take that land from the Dutch. Seneca Village, they also believed in protecting themselves at all costs. Rosa Parks' family, they were men of guns. They trained her. So, we've always had a sense of that Second Amendment. So when I see these immigrant folks who are now in office talking about they want to curb that's problematic. So I can never vote for any of these folks ever. We need the Second Amendment.
Harriet Tubman had to burn in the waste during our enslavement. So you already know. If you're not properly protected and you're the minority, you would be like you're a moron if you don't.
Right. Even the majority class, if you want to say that. But that's one thing
I'm
I
saying.
agree with them.
If you're the minority, you should go through extra measure to be protected.
To protect yourself and your family.
Yeah.
More than you protect your family.
I told you this from my mom. I raised up my mom's had them things in the crib.
Right.
Like I grew up with them things in the crib.
Because it's not their responsibility.
And I wasn't living with my pops.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I wasn't living with my pops.
Right.
And them things is in the crib.
Yeah.
My mom's had them things.
And I like what
it's not their responsibility to legally protect us. I would encourage everyone to get the book, Dial 911 and dial. They are not here to protect you. In fact, the more you call 911, the more your life is in danger. They're here to protect property. And so you got to be a fool to
only thing they here with us is to monitor us and kill us.
Yeah.
I don't believe in any. I'm not rocking with anybody who tries to destroy the Second Amendment, try to adhere to draconian laws. Like here in New York, we have some of the most strictest laws.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Us in California.
Right. And
DC.
just just in particular, the 5 boroughs, right?
Yeah.
The 5 boroughs
is worse than anywhere else. The city is worse than any
right, because the state got separate laws.
Yeah, New York City and DC got the 2 most restrictive laws as far as cities when in of itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Upstate,
Like
no problem.
Yeah. Like
no problem. It's just here in the city in the 5 boroughs. And even now, where you can carry a firearm on you, they try to put restrictions on certain areas that you can go with that firearm, which is ridiculous. The cost, it costs for a class, an application process, it can cost you upward to $1,000 here in the city, but upstate it's $48.
Wow.
It's a 16-page process application. In the city, it's 16 goddamn pages. Upstate, it's 2 pages.
And $48.
Yeah, because they want to deter you from getting it.
Right, because there's no guarantee that you'll...
Especially the people that are of that need it the most. People that are in low income areas.
Right.
You want to be honest, we need them joints the most.
Facts. Because I don't care who y'all. If you come through these doors, white, black, Chinese, or whatever, you're going to get the smoke.
All right. Yeah. So, because I ain't want to keep y'all too long, because, we all got things to do. But the 2A, do y'all think we should take advantage if they put the permits on with moratorium and open the doors for us? So we should encourage our folks to protect ourselves, because we see people like York Liquor is on the loose. So we have to protect ourselves from people like this.
Nah, you don't. He probably mad lord ass. Yo, you ever seen that? You ever seen the Key and Peele joint where the dude sit in his bed and he mad lord ass and he just yeah. That's probably him. He probably mad lord ass. Probably fat as fuck with one of them funky ass beds. Like he got the big matted white boy bed
with Cheetos in it.
Yeah,
in his mama basement.
Yeah,
just trolling.
He a good about 41
and living in Utah.
Nah, he don't live in Utah. He live in Long Island. He live in Long Island or Westchester.
You better be careful.
But he's you're never gonna see him.
Right.
That's right. You won't see nobody like that.
Yeah, you gotta go to the store.
In the courts.
You gotta go to the store where he lives to see his fat ass.
Right.
And he gonna have a bunch of chips and cookies and all that shit wobbling to the joint. I don't he law that. Dudes all mad skinny that talk mad shit and stay getting beat up.
Right.
One or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sister K, we get ready to get up out of here. What's some of the things you want to leave the people with before we dip up off?
Just keep your eyes and ears open. Believe what you see. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. But also be mindful of, your political savvy. Don't get caught up in other people's problems. Let the president do what he needs to do, because all of these gatekeepers are a problem. All of them. White, black, Asian, or whatever, they are a problem. So let him do what he needs to do. Stay out of that. Stay on code. It's black first, and anything else is secondary. Period.
Thank you, sis. Gutta, what you want to leave the people with?
Shit, for me, it's first, second, and last. Anybody else, better rock with us. We ain't going the other way. You know what I'm saying? Because it always when it go the other way, you see the results. You know what I'm saying? So you got to rock with us. There ain't no we rocking with you. You're not rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Beat it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Well, family, we want to thank everybody for rocking out with us today. We definitely want to give a shout out to our usual suspects. Our sister Queen Anusa. Shout out to you, Queen. Our
Rich
sister
Nice.
Tish, brother Rich
FBA
Nice, sister Farnessa.
strong,
Oh,
black.
yeah, definitely FBA strong.
Look,
Tiger in the place.
bro.
Tish, our brother President Divine. We got to get Divine back up on here one day. You know, kick his talk, his FBA talkers. Our brother be so on point and ahead of the curve on what's really happened. Bebo Billy Part 2. Shout out to you. Again, FBA strong push back, and we
Your
be remiss.
liquor.
I'm about to say we be remiss if we
shout out to your
lit liquor.
Look,
that don't even sound right.
That look, he probably eat mad fucking meat too.
Shout out to you. But family, the takeaway from this today is be mindful of your surroundings. Watch these folks. We see how they turn up on one another, so definitely don't think they'll give you any leeway. And again, keep your eye out on what's going on with the 2A, because we may have an opportunity to protect ourselves in this hostile environment, because as we know now, it ain't just us and them, it's us, them, and others. And everybody, for some reason, are focused on us as the target and the threat. So keep your head on the swivel and protect yourself.
If you can or you can't get one.
Word.
Supposed to have it.
Check
You
yourself.
ain't supposed to have it. I wouldn't give a fuck. Get you one.
Word. So family, that's it for us. We be back here next Sunday at 2 p.m. Oh, definitely, please. Every Thursday. Thorough Black Talk, Worldview, 8 p.m. on YouTube. Me, Sister K Fighter, Sister Marcia, our brother Blacksmith, we be going in. We may have a guest next week, Arthur. He's been on the show before. Actually, one of our first guests, our brother Mbwebe Shanki. We're going to check out what his schedule looks like. He has a new book out that we encourage people to get. It's all about the AI and how do we move forward in this new environment, y'all. So y'all stay tuned for that. We want to thank y'all for rocking out with us. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true. And remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, it's always better days ahead. Peace, family.
Peace.